Welcome everybody to round 2 out of 10 here in MF1 Season 2. And now we arrive here in Japan for the Japanese Grand Prix here at Suzuka. This is MF1's first ever time racing here at Suzuka, so there's going to be a lot of things to learn. So there's no doubt that today is going to have some very exciting racing. Red Bull has brought in a special livery to pay their tribute to Honda. And if you never knew, Honda makes power units for Red Bull, so this is going to be a very important race for Honda, while Max Verstappen puts that white bull on pole. Max Verstappen has some very high hopes for today's Grand Prix, as now let's move on to the track analysis. 53 laps today around this 5.8 kilometer circuit. There is one DRS zone. There are many places to overtake. Now let's move on to the tire compounds. Today's tires is the hard C1s, medium C2s, and soft C3s. Strategy is going to be very key here at Japan. As we are pretty much ready to start the formation lap, let's go meet the grid. Franco Colapinto will be starting in the back of the pack, followed by Lance Stroll. In front of them are both Haas's of Oliver Behrman and Esteban Ocon. In front of them is Gabriel Bortoleto and Sergio Perez. In front of them is Pierre Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda in that special Japanese tribute livery for Red Bull. In front of them is Kimi Antonelli and Valtteri Bottas. In front of them is Nico Hülkenberg and Fernando Alonso. In front of them is both Ferraris, Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. In front of them is George Russell and Oscar Piastri, the Australian Grand Prix winner. And on the front row is Lando Norris and Max Verstappen. It's going to be a very eventful day here in Japan, but let's look no further and get this race started as the drivers are ready at the line for the start of the Grand Prix. Here we are, folks, the moment we've all been waiting for. It's going to be an exciting race today, as now 5 lights ahead of the drivers, and it's go! We are underway here in Japan. Verstappen with a good start, as Lando Norris was defending his position from George Russell at the start. But Lando Norris has now lost a lot of momentum, and he's now side by side with his teammate. Now Norris tucks in right behind Piastri. That is a good decision. Leclerc under pressure from Russell. Russell with not a lot of momentum as well. He's going to tuck in behind Leclerc as we make our way down at turn 1. Verstappen is your leader. Piastri in second. Norris in third. And everybody scrambled to go single file heading towards the first corner, maybe to avoid some sort of calamity. That was a good decision. We saw a bad start in the previous race, but this start is way better as Max Verstappen is leading the race in the Honda Tribute livery. Piastri's in second and Norris is in third. Leclerc now putting pressure on Norris as we head into the first corner. Leclerc goes low, and Charles Leclerc is going to get by Norris and put himself into the third position. Gasly putting pressure on Yuki Tsunoda as we head onto the chicane. Gasly with a late braking move, and Pierre Gasly for Alpine is going to get by the Red Bull of Yuki Tsunoda. The first round of pit stops now begin as leader Max Verstappen is into the pits. So far, he is dominating today, has led every single lap. He has the car, he has the skills, he is in the position to win this Grand Prix. And what a story that could be to win this Grand Prix in that special livery. Now Oscar Piastri, the Australian Grand Prix winner, is now into the pits. Having a great day so far, but he wants to beat out Max Verstappen and win 2 races in a row. That would be awesome on his part. Charles Leclerc now into the pits and currently running third and in position to get a podium. Charles Leclerc only has 1 podium in his MF1 career, but he is in position and has the chance to once again score another podium. Max Verstappen under pressure from Piastri for the lead of the Grand Prix. Piastri goes low into the chicane, and Oscar Piastri gets by Max Verstappen and takes the race lead. Russell now under pressure from Lewis Hamilton into the first turn. Lewis Hamilton goes low, and Lewis Hamilton now for Ferrari is going to get by his former teammate. Second round of pit stops begin as Oscar Piastri has cooked up a thriller, currently in the lead of the race and in position to win back-to-back Grand Prix. And the previous person to do that was George Russell and Max Verstappen in Season 1, but no one has ever won the first 2 races back-to-back. Talking about Max Verstappen, he is into the pits. Verstappen currently running second, did lose the lead to Oscar Piastri, but is still the fastest car on track, and there is no doubt that he's still in contention for the victory. Charles Leclerc is now into the pits, running a great day, currently in third and hoping to score his second career podium in MF1. But someone is closing the gap to Charles Leclerc, and that is none other than Lando Norris. Lap by lap, Lando Norris is closing the gap between him and Charles Leclerc, and he is hoping that he will get by Charles Leclerc and score a podium in today's Grand Prix. Lando Norris now putting pressure on Charles Leclerc as we head onto the chicane. Norris down low. Lando Norris is now going to get by Charles Leclerc and take away Leclerc's dreams of getting a second podium. Oscar Piastri now under pressure from Max Verstappen on the main straight. Verstappen has DRS, and Max Verstappen is going to get by Oscar Piastri and retake the race lead of the Japanese Grand Prix. Whoa, look out, Valtteri Bottas has missed the chicane, and he's going to have to go the alternative route, and he's going to rejoin back onto the track. The stewards might have to look at that one to determine if it was a safe rejoin or not. Now let's take a look at what happened here. Yep, Bottas just laid on the brakes, overshot the turn. And this is a very high braking zone, so you got to be really careful on the brakes, and you got to know what you're doing. And Bottas unfortunately missed his braking point. Very unfortunate for Valtteri Bottas, currently running 8th. But the stewards will be looking at this incident to seeing if he gained a lasting advantage when exiting off his little corner cuts. And the stewards will also be looking at if it was a safe rejoin back onto the track. This is a look back at the incident that happened a lap ago, and the stewards have concluded no further investigation. Valtteri Bottas did not gain a lasting advantage, and he rejoined the track safely. And after 53 laps, Max Verstappen wins the Japanese Grand Prix in that special tribute livery. And this win is going to mean a lot for Red Bull, as Oscar Piastri, the Australian Grand Prix winner, will keep up his consistency and finishes second, and Lando Norris finishes third for the second race in a row. Max Verstappen delivers here at Japan as the MF1 Season 1 champion wins his first race in MF1 Season 2. It's his 4th career victory as Oscar Piastri finishes second and Lando Norris once again will finish third. Not a win for the McLarens, but it is very good that they're keeping up their consistency after Australia. Now let's check out the race results. Verstappen, Piastri, Norris, Leclerc, Hamilton, Russell, Alonso, Bottas, Hülkenberg, and Antonelli. Those are the people who get points. And now let's go check out the Drivers' Championship. Piastri and Verstappen are tied for first place. Norris is in third with 30 points, and Hamilton and Leclerc are tied for 4th and 5th. Ferrari teammates right there. Now here's the Constructors' Championship. McLaren is ahead of Red Bull by 26 points. Ferrari's in third, Mercedes in 4th, Cadillac in 5th, Aston in 6th, Audi in 7th, and below that are the teams of Haas and Alpine, who haven't scored any points yet this season. There wasn't too much drama today, but there were tons of overtakes around this track, and Suzuka definitely delivered today. And the next race on the MF1 Season 2 calendar is at Bahrain for the Bahrain Grand Prix. That one is going to be good. It did have a good race last season. I want to thank you especially for joining in and watching this video, and I hope to see you next time at the Bahrain Grand Prix.